Okay, so we ended season 2. Big is engaged to Natasha.
Yeah.
Told Carrie, oh yeah, I'm engaged.
I forgot
T-dubs.
to call you. Thanks for calling me. Because I forgot to call you.
I forgot to call you. And he invited her to an engagement brunch. She skipped it, but she ran into him.
Oh, yes.
And she came to her whole realization that maybe some women just shouldn't be tamed or aren't meant to be tamed.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we should run free or whatever. So anyways, this episode is called Where There's Smoke.
Mm.
So we open up with the ladies are on the Staten Island ferry.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie is helping judge the Fire Department of New York's annual calendar competition.
Oh my God. Do they still have this?
I'm sure they do. You know, it was Fleet Week last week.
I sure do, bitch, because I always run into one of them tight ass little niggas somewhere on the train. Ooh, they get me, girl.
I know. I forgot Fleet Week, bitch. That is like a moment every year for the single ladies of New York. Y'all don't even know.
Y'all don't know.
You better not have plans. You better make plans to go out that weekend with your friends. You see some sailors running around New York and they are horny and they are fine and they are ready to party and you can have fun and never see them again. So.
Yes. Oh my God. Their outfits are so crispy.
Crispy.
Oh my God. They look gorgeous all the time.
Yeah. Fleet Week was a fun time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they probably do stuff like this still. The Fire Department of New York calendar, whatever. I'm sure that's like an annual fundraiser of some sort. Still. Have you been to Staten Island? I've never been to Staten Island.
I've been twice. I've never seen more Confederate flags in a row in my life.
I hear it's super Republican.
Yes.
Very Trump, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have no business or reason to go there. But anyways. So yeah, the competition, it's basically like a male review show.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, and Carrie, she's one of the judges. She meets a fellow judge. His name is Bill Kelly. Mm-hmm. Very good looking, divorced politician running for city comptroller. Mm-hmm. So it's also Roger Sterling from Mad Men. Shout out to Mad Men fans. And yeah, they're very flirty. And, you know, afterwards, after the competition, he, you know, keeps trying to talk her up. And she tells him her full government address, which I knew was going to come back.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're like bantering about voting districts or whatever the hell. And he asks her for her number. She says she's not dating right now. Gets kind of awkward. And then she kind of just like dips. We also see Charlotte is like drunk as hell and is screaming she's getting married this year.
It's such an iconic scene with her with that tube top dancing the night away.
Yeah.
So fun. So fun. Did you see Tisha Campbell dancing this weekend? You probably didn't see it.
No.
Girl, she was in a turban and like this little matching set looking just old and rich. Dancing her ass off somewhere. Oh my God. She looks so free. I think she just got divorced, I think, or something.
Oh, did she?
She looks just fresh and free of something. Some weight.
Some weight was lifted.
Oh, I loved it. She looked
good for you, Tisha.
Yeah, she looked great.
Oh, I love her. Okay, so the next morning, Samantha, they're at brunch. Samantha's talking all about her wild night of sex with the firefighter and fulfilling like a big fantasy of hers. Charlotte says, or they're talking about firemen as a fantasy and just like the hero complex and why it's so sexy to be, you know, to have sex with a firefighter or whatever. Charlotte says, well, women just want to be rescued.
It's because women really just want to be rescued.
There it was. The sentence, independent single women in their 30s are never supposed to think, let alone say out loud.
And the whole diner goes silent.
Literally. Everyone's like record scratch. Yeah. And Carrie says this is a statement that independent single women in their 30s are never supposed to think or even say out loud. And then we get Charlotte's very iconic line. I've been dating since I was 15. I'm exhausted. Where is he?
I felt that so hard.
I felt that, yo. And the desperation in her voice. She is exhausted.
So tired. Because they have told you since you were 15, this could be your husband. Which is lunacy.
Crazy. Your high school boyfriend could be your husband. Like, the chances of that are so slim. But in the back of your mind, you're like, I found him.
I hope.
Yeah. Oh my God. So Charlotte's exhausted and like just going through it. And Carrie says, well, maybe we're the white knights and we have to just save ourselves. Which just, Charlotte's like, this is depressing. Yeah. This is not it.
That only works when Samantha says it.
Right. Now, Carrie, she gets to wondering, gets to typing, you know, do women really just want to be saved? Now, Miranda, this episode, she's having LASIK eye surgery. Her doctor's like, you need a friend or a significant other to come walk you home because you're basically going to be blind. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, no, I'll be fine. It's fine. And Steve fully offers. He's like, oh, I'll be your person. I'll come get you.
Without even asking.
No. And she's like, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. And she previously in the episode was trying to tell the ladies, like, me and Steve are just friends. Like, I think it's implied that they're fucking, but they're not together. And Steve even kind of brings up the what are we conversation, but it gets cut short. They start kissing. And then she goes for her surgery. Steve just picks her up. He's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Like,
she was like, Carrie called me. She's busy.
Yeah.
That's our first sign of Carrie is a friend.
I know. But they probably like colluded together. Absolutely. Where she's like, Steve, you should go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Miranda's being ridiculous. Go get her.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, he picks her up. She's on all kinds of meds. The next morning she wakes up. Steve is still there. He's fast asleep. And now she's like finally seeing things clearly.
Oh my God. Watching Anne just like that makes me so mad about that they are not together now.
I cannot believe they made Steve he cheated on her and then that ended their relationship.
No,
Isn't that what happened?
No, that was in the movie.
Oh, he cheated on her in the movie.
In the movie, he cheated.
Oh, that's right.
But it was like really realistic, and then they got back together to the Al Green song on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yes.
Iconic,
okay.
Right? It was great. Whatever.
So then, what happened in the show? She
just wanted to be gay for a minute,
and just left him.
And then he couldn't hear. Out. He couldn't hear no more.
Oh, he was going. Why did they do this to these characters?
They hate Cynthia Nixon and they hate whoever Steve is. They hate him. I
forgot. What was that storyline for him? He's going through hearing loss. Did we need that? Oh my God.
Like, why are the men dying and going through healing? Like, they're only 60. They're not this old.
They really make them look so old.
So old. Like, they're falling apart. It's not. Look at when they're 60 years old. And then their son was like fucking some bitch in his room.
In the room, sharing the wall with the parents. Like, what? It was just crazy. I can't.
Oh, God. And then she met Shay. And, Miranda ended up cheating on him. That's what it was.
She cheated. Oh, with Shay.
With Shay, yeah.
Lord have mercy. So we got to enjoy Steve while we got him.
We can. God.
Lord. Now, next we see Charlotte and Carrie out on the hunt, looking for, out at the bars.
Looking for Charlotte's type of man.
That's her husband. She said she got married this year. She claimed it.
Husband.
Trying to find her husband.
Do you love these nights out when you're looking for your friend's type and not your own? So you're just like, okay.
All right, girl.
I'll look for your type.
No, I was never doing that. I was always looking for my type. What? We just looking for her and not for me? No. God. So Charlotte, they go to this like 5-eye bar. It's like nothing but eye bankers. As Charlotte's like living. And she meets this very creepy looking eye banker. It was
very weird.
So weird looking.
You know what it is too? He's blonde.
I know, we're not into the blondes, really. He also just wasn't attractive. Like
that too.
Either.
Yep, that either. Yeah, a haircut would have helped out, but yeah.
So he punches this guy who was like hitting on her, and she's like swooning.
There he is, the hero I've been waiting for. Mm-hmm. He's in my honor. He fought in my honor at the bar.
Until we see them go on their first date and he fights somebody else. Now this is just what he does. He's a fighter and he has anger issues.
Yeah, I was dying. It was so funny.
Samantha, we see her still in her little rendezvous with the fireman. She goes to the firehouse all dressed up, ready to get this fantasy together. Yep. Get the full action now at the firehouse with all the guys.
Yes, yeah. And they're watching the bubble butt TV, not concerned with her at all.
At all. And her and homeboy have sex. She gets, a little bit of fancy, and then she's left stranded and naked when they have to run off to fight a fire.
Yeah.
Literally. Then Carrie, so the politician tracks her down because he has her address. He is sitting on her stoop. Oh my God.
Oh man.
But this fur coat, these snakeskin
boots. Oh my God, these boots.
Gorgeous.
Just to be a lady who lunches for the day. This is one of the like perks of entrepreneurship, right? Is that one day you could just pretend like, like you don't work. You don't work. So you dress up for no fucking good reason. And you walk around to whatever store you want and go out to lunch.
Spend the money you do not have.
And get your favorite things and do all your favorite things and just like be in the fantasy for a day. And this hoochie mama fantasy that she was living, I loved it.
I loved it. She looked amazing. I love this outfit. But yeah, he invites her / tells her she's going to dinner with him. And we see later that night or the next night, whatever, she gets dressed up, but stands him up. Can't go. Can't get the energy or not the energy, the courage to go.
Yeah.
And Miranda fully tells her, like, you're just terrified of getting hurt again. It's okay. She ends up pushing herself. She takes the ferry. So that's dedication. She had a ride downstairs.
Yep.
Now she's taking the ferry. To go all the way to Staten Island, meets him for his little dinner thing, and tells him, like, confirms for him, I did go through a bad breakup, and I do need to take things slow. We end the episode with them, like, ferociously making out in the coke check.
Yeah.
And she obviously misses her ferry, so he has to rescue her.
And she has the one shoe, a nod to Cinderella.
Yes, Cinderella, yes.
The one shoe at night. Loved it.
Her knight comes and gives her a ride home. And that was the episode.
I can't believe the same person who wrote that wrote what I watched on Friday.
Just gave up. Michael Patrick, whatever, he just gave up.
I think he's trolling. To see how. I think so. I think they're seeing how bad they can do it. Same with the styling. The outfits are really horrendous.
Really? The fashion's not good?
Horrendous.
What?
This episode particularly.
Yeah.
So bad.
Oh no.
Oh my God. I don't think it's usually like that. I think it's usually pretty nice. But Carrie's first outfit was beautiful, straight off the runway. Everything else, horrendous, treacherous, a mess.
Oh God. All right, let's get into it.
Yep.
So, Carrie's question overall, do women just want to be rescued? So I kind of want to start with Charlotte. Charlotte's iconic line.
I've been dating since I was 15. I'm exhausted. Where is he?
Why does that line hit so hard?
Yeah, I think she's talking about being rescued from, and she's exhausted. Hold on, let me start over. Charlotte is exhausted from masculinity.
Okay.
She's exhausted from dealing with other men. She found one that she can tolerate and deal with, and she don't want to go out looking ever again.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because dating is a lot. You're dealing with dudes all the time. You're spending time with men and their foolishness, and she wants to just find the one.
Yes.
Just deal with that one man's foolery. Not be out here dealing with all these men's masculinity or displays of fuck shit that you're probably ultimately going to end up doing. These fuck boys out here, like, she's just tired of dealing with all of it. I see. Okay.
And I feel like when men have found their one, they're the nicest they'll ever be.
Oh, okay.
But when they'll deal with you just cause, they get really mean. In the vein of not wanting to be perceived as mean, which we see on Bravo a lot.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't want to deal with that anymore. She wants to deal with somebody who's nice to her.
Yeah. And just the one.
And just the one. Because I don't want to deal with all these men forever. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. I think most of us have been dating to find our husband. Well, for Charlotte, were they early 30s, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So almost 20 years. Yeah. She said from 15, let's say she's 35 in the show, 22 decades since high school, right? And of course, in high school and college, we're young, we're having fun. But I know even for me, like, in the back of my mind, I was still always thinking, like, could he be my husband?
Hopefully he's the last one.
Yeah. Is this the last one? Even at like 19, like, I still had in my head, I wanted to be done with the hunt. Yeah. I wanted to be done with it. So just always dating with that long-term goal in mind and not dating so much in the here and now, I think, and which is definitely a Charlotte's that type of girl, right? Like, she's not just like dating for fun. Like, she really is dating with the utmost intention. And that is exhausting. Yes.
Because most men aren't. Most men are dating in the here and now.
Yeah. Most men. Yeah. And yeah, after 20 years, let's say 2 decades of this, at a certain point, you feel like you've learned all the lessons. You know exactly what you want. It takes you 5 minutes on a date before you know if this guy is going to get a second date or not. You know? And so, I mean, I definitely felt that with Nate. By 29, I met Nate. He was date number 5,000 by the time I'd been living in the city 10 years, damn near. I was so over it. I already knew early. By the time I was dating Nate, 5 minutes on a date, I knew if this guy, if it was worth it to even keep talking. Or am I just going to be here because I need to see through the date? Or is this actually going to go somewhere?
Immediately.
Immediately.
Knew by how Crunch didn't even treat me, how he treated other people, that he was going to be right for me. Okay. I like this type of guy. And not even, we didn't even deal with each other.
Right.
For a really long time. But I knew how he treated my friends who were higher up than him. I said, okay, perfect.
Yeah. So it's exhausting when you know, but then you still have to go through the motions.
Right. Especially because people always tell you it could be.
It could be.
You could.
Yeah.
And you know it ain't.
Right.
God.
Oh my Lord. I love that line so much. It just rings
hits.
So true. And you feel the desperation in her voice. Like she's just over it. She's truly exhausted. Tired. Now Charlotte also says, same scene, women just want to be rescued.
Yes.
And as you said, the whole diner went silent and all the women were like, bitch, shut up. And Carrie says, like, as independent single women, like, no one's supposed to think this. You're not supposed to definitely not say it out loud. Do you think there's truth to that statement? Do you think deep down we do just want a man to come and whisk us away?
Can we start from actually what we're being rescued from?
Yeah.
Right? Can we go there for a second?
Yes. Yeah.
I'd really like to explore what we're being rescued from. Is it the perils of being a woman alone simply because of the atrocities of patriarchy that will inevitably come to you and be worse and worse and worse as you get older and older and older? You know what I mean? As you're a single woman and you're getting older and older and older
on your own.
Patriarchy will get to you. Even the more solid that you are, let's even take like a Samantha who's like really, really solid in her life.
Okay.
She got to deal with men being fucking rude to her all the time at her job, I'm sure. Like, you know what I mean? And she has no defense of a partner or of even being partnered.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? And being like an abnormal kind of woman. You know what I mean? That like comes down hard on you as you get older.
Right. Because the message is there's something wrong with you.
Right.
If you're single and you're single deep into your 30s and 40s, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Why aren't you partnered? So,
and that's the perception, let's say, of other women, right? Who look at you like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you partnered?
Yeah. Generally, it's other women, I think.
For men, it's, oh, why aren't you taken? But also it's like, she's weaker maybe, or like I have to, like, who does she think she is? I feel like that's a lot of men's perception of women who are that independent and older. Right?
Who does she think she is? Or also there's something wrong with her.
Or there's something wrong with her. Yeah. Why does she hate me? Why does she hate men?
Why does she hate men? She's how old and single? Why? There's something wrong with her. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like from my perspective, for me personally, I wanted to be rescued from loneliness.
Okay. Yeah.
That was what I was like waiting for someone to come and save me from. I feel like I did the things, right? I built the enriched single life, right? I was traveling, I had a good job, I had community, I was never lacking social plans. Like it's not like I was alone, you know, I was loved, I have people to care for me. But I was lonely as hell. And I wanted someone to rescue me from myself. I was so tired of myself.
Yeah.
And I don't think there is... I think now people talk a lot more about loneliness, particularly going through COVID. Like we all went through a version of loneliness. So I think there's less shame around admitting that. But I think once upon a time, I think pre-COVID and all of this, like it was very shameful to be like, I'm so lonely and I just want a man to like give me companionship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was my truth. I was like, I need a man to come and rescue me from this loneliness because I'm tired of being by myself. And it's not even the pangs of being a single woman, because I feel like my life was wonderful.
Yeah.
I was happy. It wasn't like I was single and miserable. Like that kind of, you know, I mean, stereotype, but that version of like singleness, like you're sad, right? You're just sad and single. Like, no, like, but I can only go to the movies by myself for so long before I really do miss a companion, miss a partner. And I can only be there for myself as much as, I can't be my own lover.
That's the thing. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with like desiring romantic partnership.
Yeah.
Which is something that the girl boss movement misses a lot of the time.
It was missing. Yeah. Yeah. We cannot do that for ourselves. And that's where we feel the like, I want a partner, a man, a woman, whatever, to come and rescue me from this. Yeah. To love.
Yeah.
And I think most times us women are looking to be rescued not from a sad single life. I don't think I don't know too many sad single people, to be honest. A lot of my single friends are single women are like pretty happy. Like I think if you ask them, they're looking for a partner companion, but they're not like miserable single people. They've had a lot of time to really build a life for themselves that they're proud of, and they're happy and they have great community around them.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessarily the singleness, or that's not necessarily the rescuing that we need, is like what it seemed like in the show. Charlotte seems single and miserable. Right. Like she's like, I need rescuing to make me happy. I think she actually was, which is fine. That's some people's, what some people are going through as well. But I feel like that was kind of the perception of that singleness, is like to say, like, make you happy, bring you into a world of happiness and partnership. And I don't think that's really the rescuing that I felt like I needed, or that I see among my friend groups. Or my single friends, right?
I think it depends on the goals of the people. I think Charlotte had a goal to want a family. She really wanted that nuclear family unit. Yeah. And when you hear that clock tick, tick, ticking in the back of your mind, that's what you want saving from. Because you want to do that optimally with a partner, like in all the natural ways, because even that is hard. So doing that by yourself or even with a friend is just an abstract way of living. And as a woman, doing anything abstract is usually punished, very difficult, or, there's many more barriers to it. So I think for Charlotte specifically, who wanted that family unit, that's what she was talking about. And you'll see that with friends as well, if they haven't frozen their eggs, or if it's even at that point, 2003 or whenever this was filmed, freezing your eggs wasn't even a thing. Like now people are just like, oh no, I'm flying to Bermuda, go storm over there. Like people are just like doing whatever they can to delay this process so that they can find a partner, or they can be ready financially, or whatever the case is.
Right.
So I think that's what Charlotte specifically is talking about. But for like a Carrie, she might be talking about more what you were speaking of I'm lonely and I want a romantic partner.
Yeah. I was also thinking, I don't know who this is in the show necessarily, maybe Miranda. Part of the rescuing for these women, right, independent New York badass women, could be like, I'm just tired of making all the decisions. Getting to share life and do life and like lean on somebody for once, and then not be you having to like make every step of the way. That could be part of the yearning too, and part of the rescuing, right? Miranda, we don't really see Miranda say it, but she's a high-powered attorney, right? Yeah. And she's a high-powered boss bitch, 9 to 5 every day. For some women, it is nice to kind of put that hat down, come home and have somebody else make some decisions, or have somebody else lead you in ways, or have somebody else even just share in those decision making, even deciding what to eat tonight. It'd be nice sometimes to have somebody else just say, let's do this, and that could be also part of the rescuing, is like the exhaustion, the like fatigue of decision making every step of the way of my life.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, Carrie says, which hit very flat, as you said, maybe we're the white knights and we just have to save ourselves.
Girl.
I like know what she's trying to say, but like
me too.
Also...
I know what she's saying, but in reality, right? Like, again, it's like saving yourself from what? Y'all can't have a baby with Charlotte. She don't want to have a baby with y'all. You know, she don't want to do that.
No.
So this like saving not everybody has that level of empowerment. I'll say, to really save themselves. And none of these women have gone to therapy. So they don't really know even. And I think too, a lot of it is like facing that fear of being alone. Right before I got with my husband, I faced that fear head on.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I'm going to be alone forever, what's going to happen? If I never meet a man again, what is really for real going to happen to me?
What is my life going to be?
Yeah. And I think that's more powerful than like, you have to save yourself. Because, come on.
That is not helping.
No, and it's so empowering to men. You know what I mean? What?
Oh
my God. No.
Yeah, I think, the maybe we're the white knights and save ourselves also feels so depressing to Charlotte and to me. I was like, that did not hit Carrie. Because it's like to my point again about wanting someone to share in the responsibility. It's like forcing us to ignore or feel kind of shame for desiring somebody.
Yes.
To come into our lives, right?
Yes. And then letting men get away with what the fuck ever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not for lack of wanting that you have to save yourself.
Right.
It's like
not for the lack of wanting.
Old girl who paid 15 G's to find a nigga.
Oh yes, the girl on TikTok.
On TikTok. Everybody was like, "What?" Because why? Like, why are we're now stooping to the level of paying 5-digit numbers to meet a man? No,
it's rough out there.
Oh God.
It's rough. But yeah, like we have to save ourselves. It just feels, I don't want another burden. I don't want another responsibility. I don't want, that's the whole point. That's the whole point why I'm trying to find somebody, because I don't want to save myself.
Right.
I want someone to share in this responsibility, you know?
Right. Now I have to have all this money too. Oh God. Yeah. I can't even think about it now.
And yeah, I think also with Carrie in that moment where they're all kind of looking at, like, it didn't hit the way she thought it would hit, is because also it's just setting up this binary. Like, I think many things can be true. And the fact that like I can be happy and have a loving life and also be dying for a man to come into my life and like
any kind of romantic partnership.
To come into my life. And I think that's okay to acknowledge.
Yeah. Right.
To acknowledge that I cannot fill every role myself.
Exactly. Yes. Right.
There are certain ways I can't be my own companion. I love going to the movies by myself. I'm like the best person to go to the movies with, just by myself. But I can't fulfill that role in every aspect. Right. I can't take myself on a romantic candlelit dinner date. Like, I want somebody else to, you know?
And we see men do that all the time.
What do you mean?
They will fulfill a role when they're ready, and then when it gets too serious, they slice it off.
They cut it off, yeah.
Weston Sierra. He needed that support all summer long. And then when he didn't need it anymore, he said, I'm good. And that happens all the time. In real life, we see it on Bravo quite a bit. We see it on TV a lot with a lot of mediocre dudes who will just take it when they need it. And then when they don't, when they're done, they say, I'm good.
Get a little taste and then kick it to the curb. Yeah. And now Charlotte, I want to stay on Charlotte because Charlotte, she's kind of always painted as like the desperate one, right? She so badly wants marriage. She's willing to do anything. She's always hunting. You know, they're all kind of always dating, whatever, but she's always like hunt. Like her hunt always feels more desperate in a way. And even in this episode, we see her on a date with this angry ass man. Because she like mistook his aggression for like, he's going to save me. And, you know, we see this episode. She also declares, you know, this is the year I'm getting married. Charlotte often, I feel like, gets a bad rap. Why do you think that is? Because I think she actually is very clear in what she wants, and she's just going after what she wants. But why is she paint? Why does it seem like she's always painted in a light that's like the negative and negatively desperate light?
Yeah, I think she is. I think we see this is a really good setup for her first marriage and why this went so badly.
Bad, yeah.
Because she doesn't actually know what she wants. She actually will marry any old
body, yeah. Provided he went to,
school,
Andover Academy and graduated from Harvard, and his parents have a good-looking, good-sounding last name or whatever.
And then he lives on these. He mentioned the cross streets that Arthur lived on. As long as he meets those criteria, then she's good, which inherently is pretty fucking desperate.
Yeah, she does reek of desperation.
And she doesn't really know what she wants because that's not really what she needs. So really, I think it's justified. I think honestly, man. Because I think it's a great setup for what we see with Trey later,
right?
And how dangerous that mindset actually is.
Yeah. I mean, it's akin to the Ashley Tyler kind of mindset, the obsession with the marriage, obsession with the destination. But you're right. When you break it down, Charlotte actually isn't very clear on what she needs. She knows what she wants and what sounds good, looks good on paper, and what she's like always dreamed of, but she doesn't actually know what she's looking for. She's just trying to find someone who will pick her and propose to her and then let her start living this life.
And she'll put herself aside. She's an art dealer. Charlotte is fabulous on her own and will give it all up for a guy's last name and pedigree and family and boats on Nantucket, whatever the hell she's wanted. And she thinks she's that woman, but she's not. She's really an independent person who has their own dreams, desires, and wants, and really wants to be their own person and needs somebody who can respect that person.
Yeah. And it's a shame because she's going to learn this through Trey.
Sure is.
She's going to get fully married, big ass fucking wedding. And then is going to learn like, oh, wait, what?
I have a brain and I want to use it.
And I actually want to use it. I'm excited for him to come. I don't fully remember all the ins and outs of their relationship.
Me either. I forget it.
So I'm curious.
It has to be trauma based. That I forget what happened with them.
I remember his mom is crazy.
His mom is wild. Yeah,
something with that, but I don't remember the full. But yeah, she does do a lot of learning after getting married.
Yeah,
and she doesn't have the forethought and the wherewithal because she's so focused on the destination of being a wife.
This happens on A Different World with Whitley.
Oh,
she is at the altar. Damn near gets married to Byron.
Married. Oh no! Did we watch that on?
I think we watched it. Yes, somewhere.
We did watch that episode.
There's one scene. Oh my god, it was so good.
The marriage episode. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Damn, that's fucking up a lot of women out here, yo.
Yes, and this
that's
is
fucking
like
up a lot of women. Training,
right? It's Charlotte didn't get here on her own. Her mom told her this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like my mom said her mom told her like you're going to college to get a degree, but you need to find a man also.
The
MRS, like that's all right. You're going there to pursue your dreams and finding a man to help you. Like like in our brain from 17 going off to college. Make sure you're looking for a man while you're there. Like what?
Yep.
Woof.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Now Miranda, this episode we see very different. She's struggling to let Steve be there for her. To let Steve, quote unquote, rescue her, right? She doesn't want to need him. She wants to just have him dip in. We're friends. She wants to live in this like kind of gray area with Steve and not acknowledge her full feelings that she actually wants to be with this person. She loves him. She needs this companion. But yeah, I feel like I love Miranda as a character. I feel like she's very, very relatable, very based in realism. She's the cynical one, but I think we all kind of see what she's doing, right, with Steve. I feel like she's just, which is a lot of women who've gone through from high school getting heartbroken, just afraid to rely on another person. because to rely on somebody else is super scary because people are disappointing. And it's not that she doesn't want him. It's just the idea of relying on him. And you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Right.
And we all know the feeling of having our trust betrayed or having our putting our stock in somebody and them not showing up. And to know that feeling, to remember what it felt like to be boo-boo the fool when you knew I shouldn't have trusted him and I let him anyways. And you're telling yourself, I knew it. And then to take a leap of faith again when you already know what heartbreak feels like. It almost feels like it's insane.
Crazy. Yeah.
It feels like it's insane. So you see that's what she's doing. Like, she's keeping it at arm's length. I like to just keep you as a friend. We can have sex. That's it. Whatever. Because she's really just afraid to rely on somebody. As much as he seems so nice and whatever, we know how people can disappoint you.
Yeah. And she tends to hurt Steve first, always.
Always, before he can even say anything. Yeah.
Let him down, whatever. And I do think, too, because she likes him so much, she doesn't want him to see her in vulnerable situations and scenarios. She wants to be in total control of her image.
Total control.
That he has in his head of her, which is this high-powered, independent woman who he can take down every Saturday night, but that's it.
That's it.
That's the limit.
Yeah.
And I think even people in relationships, that's why this episode for Miranda was so relatable. Even people in relationships don't want people to see them in these scenarios where they're not the prettiest. Whatever that is, whether you're angry, whether you're physically hurt, whatever the case is, she was like, don't make fun of me. Don't bring this up. Don't bring this up ever again.
Yeah.
Right.
That's vulnerability. And you don't want to do that. Because that'll come back and bite you when he lets you down, because that's what's going to happen. Like, you know, I think where she's not fair with Steve, and correct me if I'm wrong at this point with Steve, where I don't think she's fair with him is, I feel like you got to go based off of that person's track record. If they have a track record of letting you down, I get it. But I feel like he only has a track record of being there for her, right? But she's kind of judging him based on how she's been let down in the past. And that's where it's like not fair. That's where you see the person's like, you got to give me a chance. I'm not your ex-boyfriend.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We saw that's part of taking the leap.
Right. Yeah. Even Carrie with the politician, same thing.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be as diabolical as Mr. Big.
Right.
Nobody. But she's
you
so
cannot
afraid.
Measure me against that.
Right, you can't measure me again. That is really unfair. He was diabolical on a whole other level.
Terrible.
He was horrible, right? And not everybody, even a politician, has the mental capacity to play those kinds of mind games.
All right, I don't got time. Oh God, yeah. So that's part of the. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Miranda needs to go with like healing or whatever, but that is part of the healing, is like not going through every relationship, just like judging the person based on the past one. That person has to establish a new track record, and you judge them based on that track record. And that's what's fair.
Do you think too that Miranda goes for she distrusts men immediately, pretty fairly, right? Because she's been let down, but trusts Carrie specifically a lot, who lets people down for a hobby? She lets people down like every other episode.
I know, she's so unreliable.
Very. She'll be like, "Oh, Carrie will come pick me up." No, she won't. What?
No, she won't. I think she just has her in a different boat. That's her friend. It's Carrie. Okay, she's flighty. Like, she's grown to love her and appreciate that of her. Whereas for a romantic partner, like, that's a value that you have to bring. You know, she's okay to have a friend that'll let her down because she's just like flighty, and that's what it is. Yeah. But no, I'm not going to allow a romantic person that I'm choosing to be in my life to do that to me. No. Yeah. And is Carrie there by choice too? Yeah. But I think the longevity also kind of pushes it along too.
Yeah.
Now Carrie, we'll end with Carrie. She is, she's trying to keep this politician at bay. Obviously, she's fresh off of Big and tired, terrified of getting hurt again. And first she says she's not dating. Then she says she needs to move slow. What do you think? How do you think Carrie should be moving post Big? Knowing Big, knowing what he put her through, knowing that track record, how should this woman move? Navigate?
Yeah, she should be dating. She should be doing 51 first dates. She should be going on dates all the time.
all the time.
Because she should know that this guy was the most diabolical of all of them. I think she should learn that lesson because there's no one out there who's going to treat you like that. But also, you should also learn from those mistakes. Should you go digging in his drawers looking for a picture of the two of you going crazy? Should you show up with McDonald's and a beret? You know what I mean? At the door? Right. No, that was crazy, right?
No, she lost her mind.
She lost it. Should you drop the Bible at church from the damn near the roof? Yeah. That was so bad. Just an attempt to meet his mother? Like, oh my God. She just went so far.
Yes, she did.
Oh, her and Charlotte both go really far for these dudes. And I'm like, oh my God. Right? They go really far lengths.
They really, considering they get burned, they are really like just risk takers. Or what is this? They're just risk takers, courageous. They just always put themselves out there.
A television
characters
show
of show.
We have to be entertained. But I think they represent a lot of women, how far they'll go for that forever love. I think a lot of women go this far.
You know, the chance, it's right there. Feels like it's right there.
It does. He makes it feel like it's right there.
That too.
What do you think?
I think she should do whatever makes her feel good. So if that's making out with the politician in the coat check and it just feels good that night, have at it. You know, for some people it could be taking months off of dating. Like she also could have not dated for like 2 years.
Yes.
Because Big got engaged on her. You know what I mean?
On her. That shit was wild.
On her.
Oh
that shit is wild.
Yeah.
She could have also gone that route and that would have been just fine. Or make out a politician in the back of the coke. Like whatever makes you feel good, just gives you a little dopamine hit.
Like safe, good. Right?
Yeah. Safe, in control, right? In control. I could be in control for 2 years sitting on my couch and not date nobody and feel so in control of my destiny. Or I could be in the coat closet with the politician, you know, because I made that choice. Like, just whatever makes you feel good. And I think there's no surefire, there's no like blueprint as to how to heal from this kind of breakup. You know, someone who got engaged on you. Like, I couldn't tell you what to do. I have no idea.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No idea. What I feel like my gut advice would be to tell somebody to sit tight, like to sit down for a second. But I don't even know what that second is. That's for you.
Right. That's for you to know about. And what are you going to do in that second? Are you going to pick up a hobby? Are you going to go to therapy? Are you going to do both? Are you going to get a new job? Like, what are you going to do during that time? Take yourself on a solo vacation. I can tell you all the stuff that I did. But that was like, I don't know what happened when you were a kid or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
All that matters when you're doing all this healing.
Yeah. And people, so I have a friend who went through a very bad breakup and took whatever time she needed to feel herself again and heal again. And everyone has an opinion, right, on how far along you should be in your healing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
you know, you should really try dating again. I think it'll be good for you. You don't know. You don't know. People need to give people. Everyone needs to take a window of time. Obviously, I don't think you should get out of a broken engagement and jump into dating somebody the next day. But you can't tell me what that window of time is, and you cannot project onto me. Well, for me, I took a year off of dating. That was good for me. I might need 2 years. I might need only a month. You know, we can, and I think we have a tendency to do that and put that pressure onto others. It usually comes from a good place. You love your friend. You just want to see them, you know, back to themselves, or just like you don't want to feel like, you know, that guy just like took her out. You know, you want to empower her in ways, but you also, Carrie, couldn't tell you. Someone got engaged on me. Couldn't tell you what would be the right thing to do. All I can say is do what makes you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I took 2 years and 10 months off. Who am
From
I to
dating
say?
completely.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I started in a place of like, this isn't worth it. Love is crazy. Why would I do that again?
Mm-hmm.
And until I got back to intense therapy and hobby making and a solo vacation, after that, then I started talking to Crunch at work.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
otherwise, no,
Mhm.
I wasn't in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people were
So,
asking me,
yeah.
what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? You sure you don't want to start dating again? You sure? It could be good for you. You don't know. You are the expert on yourself. Don't let somebody tell you got to start moving or whatever the hell. I mean, ideally, you do get back out there at some point. If you are truly wanting to find somebody, right?
Yeah.
So I think there is such a thing as sitting down too long.
Yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum, I do think there is something about taking too much time off, because then getting back in is so scary. You know, it seems it's like a huge mountain now after you've taken off so many years off of dating. But yeah, you just got to move at your own pace and let your people in your life move at their own pace and just be there to support them.
And be there in a place to support them, and not a place of like desperation. There's none left. Because that's the worst attitude.
That never helps.
That never helps. And that is not true.
And it's not true. Yeah.
If your friend is 34 and they want to go date a 50-year-old divorcee, that's who's out here. So let them date whoever is out here. Like,
is out here.
This attitude of scarcity is never good when talking to a friend who's like in that healing space, you know?
Yeah. Friends, anything else?
No, I'm so glad we talked about Miranda. I want to talk about her so bad. That was it.
Yeah. What did we learn this episode, my friend?
He's a smart guy.
Oh my God. That we all really want to be saved from masculinity.
From that dealing with men all the time. We just want to deal with the one.
The one. I just want to find the one I can deal with is really the tea.
That's such a good way to put it.
Right?
That's really it. Yes.
That's what Charlotte meant. I've been like thinking about this line, about this iconic line, right? What does she mean? That's what she means.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you're dating, you are dealing with men all the time. You're dating different dudes all the time. You're in the ether of what men are doing. You with think the men earth all the time.
Flat or round? You think the earth like stops in Antarctica? Like, you really think that? Oh my God. It's just like so bad.
I know.
It's so bad.
I never thought about it in that way. Like, the years of dating, I was just, I spent so much time around men, with men, you know, and not my man, just men, you know, just guys. And then you just find the one, and now I just deal with him. And like, I meet his friends, and I'm like hanging out with his friends. Like, otherwise, like, I'm not around men at all. I'm just watching them on TV and hearing them on podcasts, and that's really it.
That's it. Oh my
Reading
God.
about them, but like not dealing with them on a day-to-day. So I feel y'all.
If they are not gay, I don't know them.
I don't know them.
I don't deal with it. I don't know them.
Oh God. Yeah.
And we both have brothers too.
And we have brothers. Yeah. No. I deal with my brother, my dad, my husband.
Yeah.
A sprinkling of my husband's friends. But otherwise, I've not dealt with men on such an intense level since dating. And Charlotte is tired of that. I want to get out of that.
So tired.
Just want to deal with the one.
Yeah, especially when you don't work around them. Charlotte doesn't work around them either. That's
too.
The last time I was really dealing with men was at work.
Oh, interesting.
Girl,
work,
God. Oh my God.
Your office was wild,
My office was wild. The restaurant I worked at was wild.
Crazy. Oh, that too. Yeah.
Oh my God. One just came up to me one day and he was like, you know, I work out outside because there's too many gay niggas in the gym. I was like, you just came up to me and said, how about hello, how are you? What are we talking about? What do you mean? And you wear literal Crocs every day. Ain't no gay men in New York going for you? Girl, I can't. I cannot.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so no dealing. We don't want to deal with them unless it's just the one.
That's just the one.
Anyway, what
That's
did you think we learned?
Well, that's a great one. I was just gonna say also, I think it's okay to want to be rescued in ways. And it's not the whole like I need to be rescued from my miserable life and this man is just going to make me happy, because we all know that that's not real, or like I need a man to complete me, like we all know that's not real. But like it's okay to admit to want to be rescued from loneliness or rescued from even just manual labor, household manual labor all the fucking time.
From TaskRabbit charges.
Right, thank you. From TaskRabbit charges, from trying to mount your own TV, you know what the fuck you doing.
No,
like, it's fine.
I'll watch TV on the floor.
Also,
I'm not doing it.
Fine, I also want somebody to rescue from that bullshit. And that's okay. Have no shame in it, ladies. And men out there as well.
Yeah.
This was
you want somebody to cook? Fine.
Yes. That's fine too. This was a fun episode, friends.
Oh, it was great. I love
Let
this
us
one.
know. Yeah. All your thoughts in the comments, guys. Go off on Patreon. I'm curious, all the ladies out there dating, do you feel like you're looking for rescuing? Do you have shame in that? Are you like, hell yeah, I need something to tell me what you need rescuing from?
Yes, especially
Let
now,
us know.
that question was framed one way in 2000, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Now in 2025, how does that question hit you?
How does it hit now? So I would love to hear all our dating ladies and men out there, and even those in partnerships. Share your perspectives. Go off in comments on Patreon. And yeah, we love you guys. We'll be back next week.
Bye.